Okay, good morning, ma'am and my friends. Today I will present about our PPT Communicative Language Teaching. The first I want to explain about the background. The communicative approach emerged in the 1970s as a result of the work of the Council of Europe experts. A group of experts saw the need to focus in communicative proficiency rather than mastery of structures. The second is goals. To become communicatively competent, to use the language appropriate for a given social context, to manage the process of relating meaning with interlocutors. Next, about objectives. The first one is the main objective of CLT is to increase the communication ability of the learners in order to enable them to cope with their communicative needs in the target situation. Second, language techniques are designed to engage learners in the pragmatic, authentic, functional use of language for meaningful purpose. Third, fluency and accuracy are seen as complementary principles underlying communicative techniques. The fourth, students should share information which others don't know. Next, the theory of language. The goal of language teaching is to develop what Himes referred to as communicative competence. According to the communicative approach, in order for learning to take place, emphasis must be put on the importance of these variables. Communication is the activity that involves real communication promote learning. Task is activities in which language is used to carry out meaningful tasks, support the learning process. Meaning is language that is meaningful and authentic to the learner boosts learning. Theory of language. Language is for communication and linguistic competence, and the knowledge of form and their meanings are part of the communicative competence. Another aspect of this knowledge is to learn the use of the language. The principle of CLT. The first one is whenever possible, authentic language should be introduced. Second, the target language is a vehicle for classroom communication. The third, students should work with language at the discourse of supra-sensorial level. Fourth, students should be given an opportunity to express their idea and opinions. Fifth, communicative interaction encourage cooperation relationships. Sixth, the social context of the communicative event is essential in giving meaning to the utterance. Seven, the teachers acts as an advisor during communicative activities. 8. Teacher helps learners in any way that motivates them to work with the language. Next, evaluation. A teacher evaluates not only the students' accuracy but also their fluency. He can informally evaluate his students' performance in his role as an advisor or co-communicator. Next, material. Communicative language teaching uses almost any activity to engage learners in authentic communication, functional communication activities in which communication is involved, and social interaction activities such as conversation and discussion sessions, dialogues, and role plays. And the teacher roles. The teacher facilitates communication in the classroom or facilitator. During the activities, he acts as an advisor, answering students' questions and monitoring their performance. Independent participants need analyst, counselor, and group processor manager.
Okay, thanks for time given to me. My name is Susana Murni. Uh, I will continue about materials. Materials, communicative language teaching. I use almost any activity that aids learners in authentic communication. Functional communication activities in which communication is involved and social interaction activity such as conversation and discussion sessions, dialogue, and role plays. The next about teacher role. The teacher uh, facilitates communication in the classroom or facilitator. And the next, during the activity, he acts as an advisor and sharing student question and monitoring their performance. Okay, the next, independent participant need analyze, counselor and group process. And student role, teacher student interaction, use of the mother tongue can be used. However, whenever possible, the target language should be used. Okay, the next about techniques. Language material authentic to a native speaker of the target language. Newspaper, television, and radio, and also radio, broadcast, menus, video forecast, times table. And for beginner student, it is possible to use reality without a lot of language. And the next about error correction in communicative language teaching. Communicative language teaching leads an activity transfer in error correction in the methods of language teaching. It is believed that all mistakes need not to be corrected because they are seen as natural accounts of the development of communication skill. And second language learning is similar to first language acquisition. Learning to swim, to play, for example, play tennis, and the first language, and to type or to read all involved process in which success comes by profiting from mistake. By using mistake to obtain feedback from the environment, and with that feedback to make new attempts the successfully experiment desired goals. Prof 2000. Okay, the next, advantage. Communicative approach in mass more pupil oriented because it is based of pupil need and interest. The next, communicative approach seeks to personalize and localize language and at it to interests of pupil. Meaningful language is always a more easily retained by learners, and seek to as authentic resource art that is more interesting and motivating for children, and child encourage grammar rules and necessity to speak so is more proficient and efficient. Okay, next, disadvantage. disadvantage. It pairs insufficient attention to the context in which teaching and learning take place. And the communicative approach often seems to be interpreted as if the teacher understands the student, we have a good communication, but native speaker of the target language can have a great difficulty understanding student. Okay, the next other disadvantage is the communicative language teaching approach focus on the fluency but no accuracy. And the approach does not focus on error reduction but instead creates a situation where learners love using their own device to solve their communication problems. And thus the main products incoherent, grammatical incorrect sentence. Okay, so the end our group presentation may be useful for all of the follow us. Thank you for your attention. More or less sorry, and we give you time to ask a question. Thank you.